Welcome to another episode of Magnificent. I have a very special guest for everyone that is listening. It is a longtime buddy of mine from high school. He's a ball player, and I'm very happy to see what he's been doing. And why not have him on a podcast that we can just shoot the shit?
There we go.
So, everyone, this is Mr. Jake Martin. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Dude, I'm so excited, and the fact that I fell asleep on you last time, that broke my heart, dude.
Oh, that's all good, bro.
I was like, no, how unprofessional,
bro. I banged on that door for like 5 minutes, bro.
I bet you did, and I can only imagine. When you texted me, they were like, "Hey, bro, I'm leaving." I was like, "Oh, I can feel how pissed off he is."
Oh no, I can't be too mad, bro.
I'm like, oh, so I was like, this is like a really big opportunity for me because you're a cool ass dude. We have great conversation all the time, whether if it's for 5 minutes or whether it's for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need this guy on here.
We've been talking about it for a minute, bro.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes. We've been talking about it for what, years now?
Years.
Yeah. This was like when I was back in radio. Like I wanted to interview you, and then I was like, screw that. Like I'm gonna interview him on a podcast.
There you go.
So, dude, I mean, like before we started recording, I mean, like we were talking about like your baseball career and everything like that. But let's start from the beginning. So, when did you start playing baseball, and how did you what got you to continue playing baseball?
Yeah. So, I mean, the answer to that, like when I started playing was about five or six. But the reason why I continued to play changed throughout the years. As I grew up, it was a fun game that I just enjoyed doing with my buddies, and then got to high school, and I represented Team USA, and it started becoming more of a job, and I wanted to be one of the best. So that really drove me for a few years, and then some crazy stuff happened. You remember Will Adams? He passed away.
Yeah.
And that was my best friend since yay high, and that was something we enjoyed doing a lot, and that ended up becoming my driving factor and becoming a professional baseball player because I was doing it for us.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, bro.
Where you're doing it not just for you, but you're doing it for your fallen buddy.
Yeah, man.
That's
he
crazy.
Was way better ball player than I ever was. And I can say that for a fact. And it was just I'm very proud to be able to do that. Got to wear his number in college, and I made sure.
What number was it?
15. That's why I got a tattoo and all that for him, bro. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, man, that was my motivation all through college and even into professional baseball. I woke up every day and I was like, we got to make something happen. So I'm just happy I got to do it,
Yeah, that's awesome, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that actually I played baseball. Well, not really baseball. It was T-ball.
Yeah.
I played T-ball with Will. Yeah, my second year of T-ball, I played with Will. So, yeah, it was an interesting kind of factor. I mean, he was good. He was. Yeah. I mean, even at the T-ball age, he was a stud. So
yeah, man, and just even in high school, I think what was our JV coach on freshman year was Koala, I think.
Oh, Koala,
I think it was
Koala.
The marketing teacher, right?
Yes, sir.
He made a smart ass comment. He's like, none of you are gonna go get drafted to play pro ball, And I remember Will looked at me directly. He's like, oh, you're gonna get drafted, So it was like one of those things. Like we always pushed each other.
Yeah.
And dude, throughout high school, it didn't even matter if we were playing, we always played against each other on travel teams, bro. That's how it always was. We never played on the same team except for high school. And bro, I remember there's so many funny stories, but I remember one, we were playing on Ford, and it was during they had Ford had a summer team going one year. And dude, we had the championship game, or it was the semifinal. We were playoffs,
Right.
And it was 10 o'clock start. It's 9:50, and I'm like, dude, where the fuck are you, bro? I'm like, where are you, dude? And we're calling him, everyone's calling him. He wakes up at 9:55, right? He's like, dude, oh my god. He's like, I overslept, bro. We were just freaking out, and our parents actually rushed to go get him. And I say our parents because he pretty much lived at my house. That's how it was. And
we all have those kinds of best friends.
Yeah. And dude, same with me though. I was always at his house too. His dad's family to me. And but no, we rushed over to go get him. So we pushed off the game to 10:15. We ended up winning that thing, and it was just one of the best memories ever. It was one of the best things I could ever do was play that game with my best friend, bro.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I feel like your story should be like made into a movie or something.
It's been crazy, bro. Just like I don't know, you kind of realize as you get older, like I said, as a kid, it's just a game you enjoyed playing. But as I got older, especially senior year, when my grandma that raised me passed away,
Right.
she never missed a game, bro. So it was like just a whole like different aspect of baseball, and he was the one that got me through that, And so then losing him, it was just like a whole different. A lot of people, like a lot of our friends, went the other way, right? They went down the wrong path after he passed away. Me, dude, I used that as motivation to make it. It wasn't, oh, I hope I'm part of the 1% that plays pro. I was like, I'm gonna be 1%. Like it was just a mindset, and I took off with it.
Wow. I mean, the fact that you were just like, yep, he may be gone, but his spirit never dies. And, meanwhile, everybody is just going off and is like, man, I'm going to go sulk. You're like, let's go to work.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't want, I won't go into how he passed away, but I don't want that to be what he gets remembered by.
Right.
And the dude was full of life, a loving guy, and he was a damn good ball player, bro. So I wanted to keep that legacy for him. And it was kind of crazy. So my pro number, I had the choice to pick 15 or 16. And I was like, do I play 15 or I'm like, do I get 16 because of that +1? And I chose 16, so he'd be my +1 out there.
Oh my God, dude. That gets me right in the feels, man.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's some good shit right there.
Yeah, and
wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. His older brother was at my pro debut, and dude, it was just perfect, man. It was perfect.
Dude, that's something. Like, wow, that's 16. Man.
Yeah, bro.
That's a man. I just not. What's funny is like for football, I played 45 or whatever, right? That was like the majority number, 45. It was because I liked Rudy.
There you go.
That was it. No specific meaning. No, hey, my dad or somebody wore this number. Nope. It was because of the fucking movie.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, bro. Everyone's got their things, and just kind of just how the cards played out with my whole life. I feel like that was kind of meant to happen,
So what about baseball? Do you like people like football because of the physical aspect, or like the the uniforms? Like what really caught me was like those helmets, right? When I was a kid, and then just being a part of like the camaraderie and everything like that. So what about baseball really like stands into your heart?
I mean, if we're gonna go off a general aspect, it'd be like that competitiveness. But for me, it's a lot different than what a lot of people would say baseball is for them. Maybe other people can relate, but I try not to. You know how I am. I try to I focus on myself and I do my own thing. But what I loved about baseball was, like I had a lot of death in my life. A lot of important people at an early age passed. And then, I had a lot of loss outside of that, just whether it be my shoulder surgery, whatever, you name it, And baseball wasn't a game anymore. It was an escape. And we all know life gets hard enough, but that 3-4 hours you're on that field, there's only one thing that matters, and that's winning that game. And it was like an addiction just to get away. Like a lot of people will play their video games. I play Call of Duty too, bro. Like, everyone does. But dude, baseball went from being a 3 to 4 hour escape to 10, 12 hours a day escape. And that was for the last 6 years. And that was probably the most addicting and my favorite part.
Wow. I mean, I can definitely relate on that one because, playing football. So when I was 13, 14, my parents got divorced, and I was just mad at the world and wanted answers that I couldn't get at the time because I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of stuff, and I was just like, well, I'm pissed off at the world, so how am I gonna get all this frustration and anger out? And football was my outlet. Bashing heads and getting in the trenches,
bro,
man.
I loved watching you play, bro. You, Griffin Watson, all those guys, bro. I love, dude, like, you're my homies, bro. Like I said, like we talked about it. Like we might have not talked a lot recently, bro. I always supported y'all. Yeah. Especially when every Friday night, bro, it was just fun to watch you guys, dude. That was the best, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just and I talked to my dad. I'm like, why? Because at one point man, I miss that adrenaline feeling, just those pregame, like ready to rock and roll,
Yeah, yeah.
My dad's like, you don't need to have that anymore. He's like, you were mad at the world and you were trying to get out an outlet that you couldn't control.
Yeah,
I
bro.
was like, damn.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. You'll like, dude, even me playing at one of the highest levels in professional baseball, it was dude, towards the end, it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. Um, like you said, you hit the nail on the head, bro. Like you don't need it anymore. And that escape came when I realized that my self worth is in my stat line. And for the longest time, dude, like whether it be college, like trying to get all conference, you name it, bro, the awards I got, that became my self worth. And obviously, when you're not going good, you don't feel good about yourself, you know. And I realized I don't need baseball anymore, and that kind of went into my decision to like move on from it. And something I never thought I would do, you know, like I never thought I would do that. But like you find like your passion is like your podcast or your radio, whatever it is, you know. And like some other people have something else, but bro, once you find that thing that just gives you that inner peace, and not the escape, I feel like I had to separate it for myself. There's inner peace and there's an escape. They're not the same. That escape isn't peace. That's just a temporary band-aid, you know, on a bullet hole. And that was baseball. That inner peace just comes when you find something that doesn't matter what's going on in the world. If you're doing it, like for me, it's woodworking or welding. Dude, give me like 3 hours, even if it's 30 minutes, the world stops. I'm just having fun. I'm loving it. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be like, dude, something might not be going right, but it's still a good time. And then when I get done with it, it's not that huge rush where I'm like on the top of the mountain, then I drop. I stay there, you know, and like that's what I think a lot of people need to find.
Okay. Now you say that you were into welding, so like,
Yeah.
do you do that on the side, like as a hobby, or what do you like?
So I got hurt. I think you guys were at the game right after I got hurt.
Yeah, that's
You,
right. Yeah, you weren't
Chris.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
We all went for a guys' night, and then you and I have been talking about previously
Yeah.
about watching you play,
Yeah, man.
and then uh,
Turn of events.
turn of events had happened, and you
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to play. So, yeah, explain a little bit about that. How you got hurt?
So, like I was one of those guys, like you may remember, you may not, but I play like my hair's on fire. There is no going back. There is no. It's 100% full throttle all the way through.
Oh, absolutely.
And my senior year of college, actually, I was playing at Mid Michigan, and shout out to the boys out there. You know, they're having a great season so far. And we were 2 or 3 weeks into our season, and I hyperextended my knee, and we were playing down in Myrtle, I believe, and that kind of like lingered, you know. So there wasn't a lot of stability there. I think I had like a partially torn hamstring. Like it was a bunch, like just a lot of stuff going on. I got a cortisone shot. I was like, all right, let's finish this up and let's make something happen. You know, like we went, dude, first playoff appearance in college history for them, and I was proud to be a part of it. So I didn't want to sideline for an injury, you know. So that kind of like goes into why I got injured at the USPBL, and got to play at the plate. You could say you're not supposed to run the guy over, but I give a fuck. Like that's the best part of baseball. Like like it was play at the plate, and we were going hard, and my knee dislocated. And when it dislocated, like it was weird as hell because it went out of place and went right back. And that hamstring injury from the college season got way worse. And for the longest time, I was like, "Oh, dude, it's my knee, it's my knee." It ended up being my hamstring, and that's one of those injuries. Like you do your rehab, you do all the stuff you need to do, but it lingers. Doesn't matter if it's healthy, it lingers. And I was about to come back. I was talking to the Phillies and a few other affiliate teams, and then teams in the American Association, and started training. Then I got hurt again in about November, and that's when I was like, you know what, like I think I'm done. I gave it a month or two to really think about it, but my dad, he sat me down, and he's like, Jake, he's like, listen, he's like, I know your ability, but your health isn't there. And like, you know, I already had shoulder surgery. I completely tore my labrum, my trap, and my deltoid. You know, similar play at the plate, just my shoulder was messed up. The amount of concussions I got from getting hit in the head with a ball, you know, it was just like everything was stacking up and it wasn't in my favor, you know. And that was probably the hardest talk I ever had with my dad. He's like, dude, he's like, we got to start thinking about option B. Before then, I never had one. Like, even in college, dude, I took random classes just so I'd pass so I could stay on the team. And he's like, you know, he introduced welding to me at a young age. He's been doing it for 33 years. And he's like, dude, he's like, just trust me. He's like, just try it. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, we'll see where this goes. And fell in love. Like, instantly fell. Dude, I'm playing with fire. I'm doing all that cool stuff. Like, I fell in love with it. And that's where I noticed that, like, kind of backtrack a little bit, like with the injury and like my whole self-worth, right? I got released, I went from being at the top of the world to the absolute bottom, like probably like 50 feet of shit and then me, right?
Wow.
And you know what I mean? Like, I felt horrible about myself because I was like, what do I have to offer now? And it just came down to like, I don't want to feel like that anymore, you know? And I'm not getting hurt every day anymore. I'm not like, oh, I'm nagging this. I'm like, dude, I get to go do something I love every day. And like, dude, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of funny to like look how you're like dressed and everything. You went from preppy, preppy jock to now country bumpkin.
Yeah, right, dude. It's crazy, bro. Things happen, and like, dude, it was like, I can't begin to tell you, bro. Like, you know, like a lot of my life, I would say, goes to my grandma or William passing away. And well, a big part of the reason why I turned out the way I did, like the last 5 years, it's been a very searching for myself. You know, I went out west right after he passed away. I went out to California, Arizona, Texas, you name it. I lived there. Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to escape it. And didn't like who I was. You know, I felt like a piece of shit best friend. But dude, like, it was like, once I got released, bro, it's like I met the absolute best people. Now, don't get me wrong, like the people I played with in college or in pro ball, like I love them to death. Like Stempke, like all these guys, like they're still my best friends. Inchko, T-Craw. But it's like, dude, after I got released, I went to Coyote Joe's, like out of all places, never been there before. And I'm like, dude, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I'm like, you know, if I'm like, dude, I have to drink something, right? Like, here we go. And I met some of my best friends that I see almost every day now. And it kind of like gave me the answer to what I've been asking myself for the last 5 years of who am I? And I found who I was. And you see what you see is what you get, you know? And I love it, bro. Like, it's those people there, John, Rachel, you name them, my girlfriend, we go there all the time. Like, dude, it's I'm so thankful for all those people at Coyote Joe's. It's crazy. It's more than just a bar there, to be honest with you, as cliche as it sounds.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the best.
Now, speaking of like, you know, finding your true self, like you and I talked a little bit about your faith.
Yeah.
So like talk to me about that. Like have you always like had a strong faith, or has it gone in like waves? Or
definitely waves. Like, you know, like my mom, right? She owns her own business the last 30 years. Definition of a queen, right? Didn't graduate high school, but she found a way to make a lot of money.
She a hustler.
She's a hustler, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Mama Martin.
right. Same with my dad, you know, but it was never like forced on us to go to church, you know?
Yeah.
But my grandma on my mom's side, she worked in the church. And being that my mom was always working, I was always with my grandma. So we would always be at the church. You know, I just liked, at first, I was so young, I didn't understand what was going on, but I just liked seeing my grandma up on the altar, you know, like doing her thing, like helping the church, like whatever. I thought it was so
just
cool.
Being an absolute boss of a leader.
Yeah. You know, I was like, dude, I'm watching my grandma, and like, I was like, damn, I didn't realize, I'm in the house of the Lord. And I'm like, this is going to be the best thing ever. It was just like, I'm with my grandma, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it started with that, and that got me into the habit of going. And, that in high school, you know, like I still saw my grandma every day. Like we'd go on grandma's grandson dates. It was the best, dude. Like she was the best.
Don't you just love those?
Dude, she was the best human being I've ever found, you know? Yeah. And I'm blessed that God kept her in my life for as long as she did. And but no, after she passed away, dude, I Like I held her in my arms when she took her final breath, and
Mm.
that messed me up because I was mad at the world, like you said, dude. I was like, why did God let this happen? Out of
Yeah.
all the people that could pass away, why did He let this happen? And I remember that was the day before senior year started, actually, and so it was just off to a bad start, you know. And I had Trombley all 4 years for math, and that dude, shout out to that guy, he saved my life flat out. And I remember I was getting into trouble, I was just down the wrong path, you know, and that man pulls me aside at lunch. He's like, "Hey, come sit down." You know, he would sit by the bathrooms eating his like apple and all that
Oh
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
dude's on P90X all the time. You know, like dude, he's doing those crazy workouts, bro. And he just sat down and talked to me. And I don't know why, because you know we never had like a strong relationship like that before then. But I think he saw because he's a pastor. You know, I think he saw a broken kid, and we started talking about God every single day. And so that went all year round. And dude, he showed he showed me that God never abandoned me. I just wasn't looking in the right direction, you know. And you know, then I ended up doing my senior project on just how cool God is. Like, you know, like that was my senior project, just like how cool God is. And I remember he pulled me aside before I did it because I was so nervous, right? I was like, dude, I don't like talking in front of people, bro. I'm very to myself, you know. And he pulled me into his room and we said a little prayer. And dude, it was the most like it was just one of those experiences that you remember like it was yesterday, you know? And like I felt that strength from my grandma and like the love she had for me. And I was speaking that into existence, you know, it was about God and my grandma. And then you know, I felt like I was on top of it where I was like, yeah, dude, I'm going off to play college baseball. You know, my faith was stronger than ever. And then I keep going back to William, but dude, like that played a huge part in who I am, you know. He passed away October 22nd of that next following fall. And dude, I was right back down to where I was after my grandma. I was like, what do I do? And I was like, dude, my best friend, like I go bowling with every Friday. He's gone. Like, what do I do? And struggled big time, you know. I went through my battle with addiction. Um, you know, I did everything, you know. I found out that that is not the way to go. I was spending too much time in a tattoo shop. That's where it all started. And Trombley, he contacted me again. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you." Randomly, right? Like, you know, like random. I feel like my mom or something had to contact him, you know. He's like, "I want you to stop in, just stop in at the church and talk, you know, shoot the shit." So we did that, and dude, it was like that's what I was missing again. Like it's crazy how like you'll go through life and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, God's there," but you kind of forget to talk to him, kind of forget to see him and all that, and talk to him and like told him everything I was feeling, right? He's like, just give it to God. Well, I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea what that meant. I was like, give it to God, bro. He ain't gonna fix my problem. He ain't gonna be able to do it. And he asked me, he's like, you ever been baptized? I was like, no, I haven't. You know. He's like, why don't we try that? I was like, I don't know. I was like, that might be too much for me because I felt like it was a promise I couldn't keep to God at that point. And because I was so against him because I was so mad. And then the following summer, so like a whole year went by. Didn't go to church, didn't talk to God, nothing. I was like just doing my own thing. And Trombley contacted me again. He's like, hey, he's like, just come to the baptism I'm doing for my friend. And I'm like, all right, I'll go. And just that experience, dude. I saw it. I was like, wow. I was like, I want that. I was like, that is exactly what I want. But like, again, like, I didn't want to do it in front of a bunch of people. I wanted to be very intimate with me, my God. And so I told him what I wanted. I was like, I just wanted to be like me, you. And I was really close to his son, Ethan. I was like, E can be there, you know, like I just wanted to be very like personal. And he's like, all right, I can do that for you. So we set the date for like August 7th or something like that. And it was a big deal. I was beyond excited, you know. And it starts pouring down rain, freaking lightning, thunder. And we're doing this on Lake St. Clair. Because I'm like, I don't want to do it in a regular pool. I'm like, I want to be like in a lake. And like just as in the gospel, it promises mansions in heaven. We did it in front of Ford Mansion. And that was the setup. We drove his little boat, you know, that like we were like, I had this picture perfect day, you know, and it starts raining. I'm like, he's like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. And I remember I prayed to God. I was like, you know what? This is my last attempt to try to reach you. I was like, you've done enough in my life to show me that you're not here. I was like, if you can't make this weather go away, that's it. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I was like, you know how I am. I'm pretty damn stubborn. I'm like, I'm done. You know, so he's like, all right. Like, Trombley's like, all right, we could try this. Like, let's try it. It's starting to break up a little bit. We're out there. It's storming again. Like, oh, I'm like, dude, I'm like, you're pushing it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You're pushing it. And I made sure I took my grandma's, you know, those little funeral cards they give you?
Yeah.
I made sure I had that in my pocket. And I started like looking at it. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, you always wanted this for me. I was like, make it happen. Like, you know, I'm not very demanding, but I was like, make it happen. Dude, I kid you not. I show you the video. Sunshine came like 2 minutes later, sun, everything cleared up. The water was calm. And me and Trombley looked at each other. We were like, holy shit, dude. We're like, dude, he doesn't swear, dude. He's like, holy shit. He's like, what did you say? And I was like, bro, I was like, make it happen. And, you know, so like that, like really like, I don't know. Cause like, I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but I feel like if you call on God to really like show out for you, he'll go up to the plate for you. And I needed him to do that right then and there, you know, because like I almost lost my life to like suicide, and like I was down bad, bro. Like I was in a really rough spot, and that day, like that solidified my faith, and because he showed me that if I truly put my faith in him, like I did when I was talking to my grandma, I was like, make it happen. You know, I know you can do it, just do it. That he comes through. And he did, and I kid you not, bro. It was the most euphoric and just the crazy experience. I was standing in the water with him, and then, you know, Trombley's talking because I was nervous, bro. I was very nervous. I was like, dude, I don't know if I might back out. You know, let's go fishing instead. And I actually said that, and then Trombley's like, I'll be a fisher of men. Like, you know, and like it was like,
oh my lord,
dude, ooh, right?
Ooh, and just goosebumps up and down my spine.
Dude, it was
Trombley with the fisher of men comment.
Right,
love that,
right?
Ooh.
And he just, dude, like Trombley gave me that confidence to make this promise to God that I'm gonna follow him. And I tell you what, bro, like I went under that water. I felt like I was under there for like an hour. You know, it was like 2 seconds, but like I felt like I was on there forever. And it was weird, bro. Like me and Trombley hugged after, but I felt like I wasn't hugging Trombley. I felt like I was hugging God. You know, he was there. Like it was 100% he was there. And that was the first time in my life I wasn't guessing if God was there. I knew he was. And that was what, like 3 years ago, about almost 4, like it'll be 4 years this summer. And dude, it's just like it's a different experience, bro. It's like I'll be at work on 400 feet up in the air, and I'm like, shit, dude, I'm scared. I start talking to God in my head. Like, it's a continuous conversation every day now. And even when something like terrible happens, you know, I lost my cousin. I lost a lot of people I love. And like even like one of my close family members got like severe cancer. Dude, I wasn't turning my back on God. I was going to God to solve the problem and fix it. And he did. You know, and it's crazy, dude. Like I've never been so strong in my faith, and like, dude, life ain't easy. Like me and you both know this. Life is not easy, but I tell you what, it makes it a lot easier when you have someone that strong behind you, and that's what God is. And like I said, dude, I've never been so strong in my faith.
That's wonderful, man. Well, we're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah,
I gotta get some water. I might have to even get me some tissues. That was beautiful, baby. Like, damn.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick break. All right, and we're back. So, Jake, going from faith, now we're going to go into my favorite part of every single episode. It is the dad joke of the episode. So, what does a deaf gynecologist do?
A deaf gynecologist do? I don't know, bro. That's tough. I really don't know.
They read lips. But
Oh
Thank you
my
very much.
God.
That was dad joke
Oh
of the
my
episode.
God. Was not expect. I should have expected that from freaking the talent show, like senior year, bro. I should have known something was
Oh,
coming.
dude, don't even go there.
Oh my God.
My impressions and everything, dude.
Dude, that was awesome.
I've thought about different things during those times. I'm like, should I have just done a stand-up thing with impressions included?
Bro,
I'm like,
you did the Matt Foley,
Yeah.
all that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I remember I was cracking up the whole time, dude. That was great. I should have knew something was coming, bro. Like off the wall.
Oh yeah, it's me, bro. Come on now.
Dude, hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
funny. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it after talking about faith, but I might just. This is perfect. Anyway, so I guess we could continue on talking about baseball or whatnot like that. But I mean, we'll dabble a little bit actually into
Yeah.
that. So, who is your favorite baseball player of all time?
Dude, of all time,
All time, your favorite. I'm not even saying like the GOAT. I'm just saying your favorite.
Russell Martin.
Russell Martin.
He was a catcher, bro.
Okay.
I modeled all my game after him. Like me and my dad traveled the country just to watch his milestone hits and shit like that, you know. And yeah, how he played the game, how he was as a person, you know. Like he had an interview where it's like and a lot of big league guys talk like this, but he specifically, if he said it, I thought it was like the Bible, bro. I was like, that's it. I was like, that's how you do it. And he always talked about how he never turns down a kid's autograph, you know, because that, like, dude, that's the younger generation that looks up to you, you know, like, dude, to a kid, like, you're a hero, man. And like, dude, I'll go to a random store and kids will see me, oh, I got your autograph. Like, that's the best feeling in the world, man. So when these guys are turning down autographs, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's why you do it, bro. And but he always said never turn down an autograph, you know. And that's something I brought into pro ball with me. So like I'd take like 20, 30 minutes before and after a game just to sign autographs. And bro, it's the best feeling in the world, man. Like it is there is no better experience that I had in professional baseball. Well, maybe my first career hit, but like seeing a kid's face light up when you like just give them a little bit of your time. And that's all it is, man. It's the coolest feeling ever.
Yeah, I can definitely say that because coming from a radio aspect, like getting different people to call and be like, "Oh my gosh, I love you, I love your stuff, like it's great," and this and that. Oh, you forgot to put your thing on silent now, didn't you?
Shit.
Smooth.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, that better not be me.
Oh man.
Oh, but but yeah, the best thing about having an autograph is, or not having it, giving it. Giving an autograph, it's like that's like your sign of like, hey, like you support me and everything like that, and this is my love to you.
Yeah, dude, and it's like I'm a very prideful person, you know. I know how to put it aside, but I take pride in what I do. And like, like I'm not going to name names or anything. I'm not going to bash people, but I didn't get there because my college coach was a manager in a league. I didn't get there because I had a door open for me. I did it my way. There's a Frank Sinatra song, My Way, right? Dude, I played that every single day before a game. That was it, right? I did it my way. And dude, I definitely stepped on some toes, but it's what you got to do, man. Like at the end of the day, you're trying to make it somewhere, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And man, that is what I take the most pride in. I might not have had the longest career. I didn't have the 20-year career, but I did it my way. Like I can look back at that first grader, whatever you are at 5 or 6 years old. And dude, Mr. Miller's class at McGahey, where I went to elementary school, they what do you want to be when you're older? And and he gives it to you. Like it was like a whole like packet, right? And you give it to him, and then he gives it to you. He comes to your graduation at high school. He gives you the packet and says, open it up, just to see where how much you changed. Dude, mine was all about baseball and playing professionally. So I was like, I can look at that like first grader, say, you did it your way. I'm not going to have that. Like, I'll talk to a lot of guys that I played with, and they'll have a lot of regret. Oh, like, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I don't have that. And I feel like a big part of that is because I did it my way. Like, you know, I got cut. I got released before I even got signed. Like, you know, it was like a whole list of things, bro. Like, I was told to never show up again. Although I just got all conference, I did all these great things in college. They didn't need me, but I showed up every single day and just like put out. Like, you know, I did what I had to do. And like, you know, I had other leagues saying, "Oh, I know this guy, he can get you in." I didn't want that because I didn't want at the end of the day to look back and be like, "Damn, could I have done it on my own?" And I feel like a lot of these guys, like, you know what I mean, that are going to have that issue, especially in the league. And I won't, man. I did it my way, and I take a lot of pride in that. And like, no one will ever be able to take that away from me, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's insane to where like you look at, you know, how you were as a younger kid and kind of how everything has changed. I mean, I can definitely tell you yours didn't. Mine sure as hell did.
Yeah, right.
When I was a first grader and they said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I said I wanted to be a fucking professional wrestler.
Dude, who didn't want to be though? At one
That is a
point?
good point. John
You know,
Cena,
like, come on, John Cena,
Rey
though?
Mysterio.
Like,
Come on, man.
like, can't see me, baby.
Yeah, yeah. John Cena's my dude, man.
Dude, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I like in description, I'd be like, I throw him in the corner, throw him with elbows, jump off the top rope, and you know, splash. You know,
Yeah, right.
And
Jeez.
now I'm like, dude, I'm way too out of shape for that stuff. It'd be cool as hell to like do like a little, you know, kind of event thing in like a backyard and have all your
Some
family
like
and
backyard
friends.
wrestling type stuff.
Kind of, yeah, maybe like
Coming June 2024.
Yeah, right. That was good. Invite your family and your friends. It's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Right, dude? Oh, dude, that'd be. I would participate in that. That'd be sweet, bro.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Dude,
So
that'd be badass.
yeah, but no, I mean, I'd probably do that, but I'd be gassed by the end of the match. I'd be like, ref, you're gonna have to roll me off of this thing like a couch potato because I ain't moving,
dude. Right, dude. I mean, dude, can't blame you, bro. That stuff's tough.
Oh, but yeah. So, but instead of that, I'm doing the other entertainment route, you know.
Yeah, man.
Which is kind of cool.
Well, dude, even in high school, you always had that like charisma and that outgoing like personality to where you could do this.
Not to toot my own horn, but keep going.
Oh, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, you always had that like voice. You do the voiceover, like whatever you name it, bro. Like, you'd always just keep people laughing and entertained, bro. And I feel like that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I explained in my first episode was, you know, I was talking with a buddy of mine, but he hasn't known me as long as you have.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I just look at it like this to where I honestly don't like very sad moments. I always have to, you know, at least crack one joke in there. Or,
yeah, man.
You know, I'm all about the good vibes, and you know, if everybody's smiling, laughing, having a good time, I'm with it.
Yeah, bro. It's,
you know,
you can't.
Granted, we have to go through ups and downs in our lives.
Yeah.
We have to. That's just life. But I say, you know, as long as you keep, you know, the positive aspects, you can turn always a negative into a positive. Keep positive thoughts in your mind. Always, you know, live life like it's your last, and you know.
Yeah, bro. Like, you have to, because, dude, it could be any day.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I'd rather die laughing than die crying.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, like 100%, bro. And it's just like, you know, when you're exposed to that kind of stuff, right? And not to go on like a super deep route, but when you're exposed to that kind of stuff, and like when I held my grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see a different side of life that you never thought existed, you know?
Yeah.
And like, a lot of people are scared to die, actually, because they don't understand how peaceful it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like when you're surrounded by people you love and you've lived a life that you can hang your hat on, dude, you know where you're going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know where you're going. You're saved.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of like one of those things where that was like a huge point in my life where I turned around and said, okay, every single day, I'm going to do something that's memorable. It don't matter if it's a huge accomplishment or if I just like laugh for 30 minutes straight, bro. Like, I'm going to do something that I'm like, someone's going to remember, you know? And that makes it so much easier, bro.
Yeah.
You appreciate every little thing that there is.
Yeah. And there's an interesting thing that you just said. Like, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. And like,
Whether if it's by your family, friends, or like even like I look at it from like a celebrity standpoint, like how you want to be remembered, you know.
Yeah, dude.
But
It's like
everybody wants to be remembered because I don't know. And a sad part about it is like if people start forget, like I don't know, like
yeah, dude. And that was like to bring up William, bro. Like that was the biggest reason why I wanted to keep playing. You know, I didn't want people to remember about the stigma around him
right.
or what he was suffering from. You know, I wanted people to remember the baseball player. Like that's how I wanted the baseball player with his hair on fire. Like you know,
Mhm.
that's what I wanted for my best friend. And like I try to live a life where people are gonna remember a man that went through hell, but dude, he had a smile on his face the whole time. Like
Right.
that's what I want. And like, dude, it's like life is good, man. Even if you're going through some like bad shit.
It's like you're breathing.
Yeah, dude.
You're breathing. That like look at the life. You're awake today.
Yeah,
You're
like you got to
breathing.
wake
You're
up.
breathing. You can you can walk. You can talk. You can look at the smaller things and then just build up on it.
Yeah, bro. And like there's something I try to live by every day. And I don't know where it's not from myself. I heard it from somewhere. I think it was like Tom Hanks. And it was like if there's something good, like just hold on, I messed it up already, but he says like in the beginning, like it's a big like podcast with a bunch of famous people like from all different realms of their lives.
Yeah.
And he sits there and they're talking kind of like how we are right now about like life. And he says, just remember this too shall pass.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Where
Yes.
he's like, if it's something good,
Yeah, it was around a round table. Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched
man.
that. Yeah,
And like when I heard that, I think it was about a year ago it came out. And dude, like that hit different. I was like, this too shall pass. Even if you're going through hell, this too shall pass. Like, dude, if you would have talked to me a year ago, I don't think we would not be having the same conversation. I was so down on life. I was like, there's no way. I heard that podcast or whatever it was. Life changed. This too shall pass. It might not be today, but it'll be tomorrow.
yeah.
You can hold on one more day, dude. You never know. Like you never know where it's gonna be. It could be one more day, and your life turns around. And like, thankfully, mine did. And I think I truly think your life turns around when you realize who's behind you, bro. Whether it be your family, your friends, or God. But usually, dude, God's standing in front of you, taking way worse than what you could expect. Like,
Absolutely.
That's what I've noticed.
Absolutely. He's standing in front of you and direct you. He's all around you. And yeah. I mean, what's crazy is so I was listening to this one song from The Lion King 2.
Yeah. Oh, dude, great movie.
Dude, great movie. Great soundtrack behind that. You kidding me? I mean, the first one was great, but the second one just is kind of up there. But there's this one song where it's like he lives in you. It's like is it talking about God or is it like talking about like how the Father like your Father is forever in you or the Father is always in you? It's fascinating, but dude, it gives me chills, get me teary eyed and sniffling every time I listen to it.
Dude,
and then when I start singing along, I'm like,
right.
Like my voice starts to crack and everything because it's so powerful.
Well, dude, it's like that's how I am with a lot of things. Like Cody Johnson, right? Great country artist. I don't know if you listen to country, but he has a song "By Your Grace."
Okay,
bro, I will listen to it every single day. I will cry every single day listening to it because it is just like the most beautiful song I've ever heard.
Right.
And dude, like how you said, God's everywhere, bro. Like I feel like I feel like God chose your parents for a reason, right? And I feel like God is love. So, and God is strength. So if you look at like my life, an example, my dad, one strong motherfucker. Like, like that dude, military guy, he is the badass commando. Like,
right.
And that's how I see him. But then my mom is strong as hell, right? But my mom is the most loving, grateful, and giving person I've ever seen. And I feel like that's God. Like, like God's showing you through your parents. Even like I know some people have some shitty parents and it breaks my heart. But he shows you in different ways and different people that are in your life that, hey, like the people that show up every single day for you, in a way that's God. He's going to show up every single day for you. Don't matter what you go through, what you do to them, they will show up every single day for you. And I think it's beautiful, man.
That's awesome, dude. Well, brother, it's about almost an hour, and I
Yeah,
know you
bro.
got other things to. I know you got other things to do.
Yeah,
So,
man.
but I appreciate everything that you are doing, everything that you've done,
Yeah, bro.
and I wish you nothing but the absolute success in life.
Hell yeah, dude. Same with you, bro. I'm excited to see where this goes for you, bro.
Thanks, brother. I really
Yeah.
much appreciate it, and I thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming
bro.
on this
Thanks
podcast.
for having me
bro.
on, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.